Bro, you just froze so bad on my screen. That was hilarious. What's up, y'all? Yeah, you're back. What's up, everybody? It's Vacant Wrestling Podcast. Despite the lack of posting too much last week, we are here this week. So thank y'all for bearing with us. My name is Tyler. Joined as always when he is able and when Yusuf is not able by your boy and mine, Emil. Emil, what's up, dude?
Phil and King, we here.
Phil and King. It's more like you got a certain amount of contract dates you got to hit. You know what I'm saying? This is the one. You got to hit this one. Let me adjust cam real quick.
This is like when they tell Roman that he's going to Nebraska, and he's like, "Do I have to?" That's what it is.
Exactly.
Like, we could skip that.
Do I have to be here in Omaha, Nebraska? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he could have skipped.
He could have stayed home. He could have stayed home. Y'all, thanks so much for always liking, sharing, subscribing, all that shit. We had some good growth this week, so I really appreciate it. But let's dive in. We got a whole week. This is the go home week. We are in the go home week for Bash in Berlin. I'm not gonna lie, I'm in and out of wrestling mostly this week with matches. I'm trying to watch when I can. I was at Raw last night in Providence. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Starting last week's SmackDown though. The bigger stories there. Obviously, we got the Bloodline still going on. We'll talk about that in a second. But opening up SmackDown, we had the Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, will they, won't they, pull the trigger on this heel turn story. Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes, where basically A-Town Down Under was trying to sow the seeds of, Cody, KO's going to turn on you. Like, you got to watch your back. Like, this man's going to turn on you. And Cody's like, dude, this is the same team that like people have been talking for weeks. Like, when is Theory gonna do something and turn on Grayson Waller? So, Cody Rhodes getting involved in the story with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. So, pretty interesting. Maybe they'll actually move it along now that Cody is aware of it happening. Probably not, but we'll see. I will say it was hilarious when KO came out to interrupt and was basically like, "Hey Nick, do I still have time to get in there and punch them in the face? Like, I know we gotta wrap this up," but Nick Aldis looks at his watch and he's like, "Kev, just make it quick, okay?" Too funny. And that sets up the main event tag match.
KO is every man's Deadpool right now. That's kind of what he does. That's what he does. He talks shit. He's the most aware wrestler of all time. Nick Aldis just indulging him in that was great as well. Checking his watch, just being like, "Go ahead, whatever. You're gonna do it anyway."
He truly is the voice of the fans, right? Like, we all know what's gonna happen, right? They're gonna fight. The GM's gonna come out and he's gonna be like, "All right, we're gonna make this a tag match later in the night. Everybody relax." Instead, we beat around that bush. We knew it was coming. KO made it funny. And it set up the main event. So the main event was a tag team match. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens against A-Town Down Under. The faces get the win, obviously. I mean, why wouldn't they? It was interesting because I believe because I didn't catch the end because I was just watching the recap real quick on YouTube. But they may have I think they got into a fight with A-Town Down Under after the matchup and fought them off. And at one point, KO standing behind Cody, and KO has the WWE title in his hand. And it looks like he's about to swing at Cody from behind and hit Cody with it, but Cody turns around just enough time to see what was happening, but for KO to catch himself and then just hand Cody the belt and then walk up and try and like face off. So it almost looked like KO was going to turn on Cody right then and there, but he did not. So we're still adding fuel to that fire of, will Kevin turn? Will he not turn? We'll see where that goes, man. What do you think?
I mean, at this point now, it's just like we're waiting for the stinger. We're either gonna get emotionally hit by either superstar. Obviously, Cody turning heel is probably not the move, but I like the idea.
That's fair.
So,
I really don't see Cody turning. It's got to be Kev. It's got to be Kevin Owens.
But sometimes, and I love that they're just laughing at their own predictability while maybe still doing the exact same thing.
Oh,
and we're still gonna like it, and we're still gonna boo him.
Right. Oh, 1,000%. We're still gonna do all of that.
What a W that everyone can knowingly get played like puppets, and we're still gonna like it. So, really, good on you. KO is not winning a championship though, so it does not really matter.
That's fair. Yeah, KO's not winning that. He might. I think at this point, heel KO might take that U.S. title off at LA Knight, and I know that you're not a fan of it, but I could definitely see it happening. Who knows? Honestly. But I will say, I think the whole Kevin Owens heel turn isn't going to happen just yet. I don't think it's going to happen at Bash in Berlin. I think it might happen after that, maybe in the build to Survivor Series. I think it might be a situation where Cody helps out Roman, who's back and fighting against the Bloodline, and Kevin Owens is like, that's like the last straw. Because like we all know Kevin Owens is pissed at Roman Reigns. So I have a feeling that like the last straw for him is going to be like, all right, why are you helping this guy? Like, we all know what this guy did to everybody back there. Why are you helping him? You know, meanwhile, something might happen to Kevin where he's in peril and he's like, no one's there to help me. You know what I mean? Something could be there. Something's brewing there, I think. Yeah. That wraps up that story. But moving on to the next one, we had the Bloodline story. Not too much went on. Roman Reigns, last we saw him was last week on the previous episode of SmackDown, where they had Jacob Fatu, Tonga Loa. They had the whole fight. They had the whole fight with Roman. Roman comes out. It was the rinse repeat of before, except this time Jacob Fatu had come out and kicked Roman Reigns' ass and was the difference maker and stood tall over Roman. But this week, Solo decided to say, Jacob, give me your WWE Tag Team title. In fact, give it to Tonga Loa. So my king, my true tribal chief, Tonga Loa, is now a WWE Tag Team Champion alongside Tama Tonga. We have the Gorillas of Destiny as Tag Team Champions. What better could it? I think we're in a good spot. I think we're in a good spot.
We're sorely feeling the Roman absence. And he's only been gone a week. We are.
I don't know. I don't think so.
And the fun of the segment just kind of fizzles. I'm not into it. Like we're missing Roman right now. We're giving Tonga Loa things that only Tonga Loa can do, such as hold belts. Weirdly.
I mean,
okay. Still don't like him.
He do be holding belts. Maybe he'll hold it the correct way. Maybe he'll learn. He has the chance to learn now.
I don't care.
Hey, man.
None of this, is doing anything for me. We're kind of just sitting on people.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I guess that's the only...
push the story, but we need the story to last 6 months.
Exactly. We gotta get it to November, and we are in August. We got a few months to build
anticipation.
Yeah, man.
That's kind of what I feel about that. I don't think that this bloodline is gonna last after Survivor Series. That might be
I'm unsure.
This version,
not this version. That'd be interesting. I mean, what version would? I guess the OG bloodline could come out of it, right? But I don't know, man. I feel like at some point Jacob Fatu is going to be the big breakout of this whole thing, and he's going to be like the big star. But I think Solo also has a lot to learn and grow and develop. So I think Solo could come out of it the same way. I think Solo could come out looking pretty tough too, pretty strong too. Next up, let's go to Monday Night Raw. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to even mention. The Bloodline beat the Street Profits to retain the tag team titles because they had a shot against DIY. So that was a thing. And it was the new champion. It was the new champion too. It was Tonga Loa and it was Tama Tonga Loa. It was no Jacob Fatu. But Jacob Fatu did get involved. He super kicked both guys with the boot on his foot. So that was pretty sweet.
Jacob Fatu.
Oh, right. He's the aura when Roman's not there. The aura is with Jacob and Roman. Like that's a no-brainer. Oh, for sure. But we move on to Monday Night Raw. I was there. So I might be biased, but I also read online that it was a really good show. People really enjoyed it. Which I was surprised because it seemed like they didn't pull out all of the stops. They had a decent amount of people, big stars, but they didn't have all the big stars. We opened up with the new Judgment Day. They have new graphics, all that. They have the same theme, but new graphics. It looked pretty cool. New Titantron screen. They all come out. They're cutting a promo. The LWO return and got a way too big of a pop than they deserve. I'm sorry. They're boring. They're phenomenal in the ring. I'm not going to knock them for that. Oh
You didn't?
no, no, I did not.
You're
Because I'm also
lying.
I didn't. I in the moment I was like, oh, LWO, that's cool. One of them was injured, right? Because they were. It was Dragon Lee. Um, but man, like, um, what was I gonna say? Oh fuck. Oh, I'm rooting for this new Judgment Day. That's what I was gonna say. I'm rooting for this new Judgment Day. I want them to succeed. I think that everyone involved deserves, like, needs to be there. To be honest, I think Finn needs to be the leader of a faction. He needs something because alone, clearly, him being by himself hasn't worked. Dominic Mysterio he could be on his own, but I think he's better in a faction right now. And I think JD McDonough, if he's not in a faction, he's toast. Like, he's cooked. There's nothing for him. And Carlito's gonna do Carlito wherever he is, right? And I mean, like, I just think adding him in is just for fun. But with the LWO, as boring of a character as they are, they're phenomenal in the ring, dude. There were a couple of spots. Dragon Lee and Joaquin Wilde both went flying, dude. They had some crazy sick spots, super high up in the air. Joaquin Wilde hit a 450 splash just casually, and it got a 2 count. It was crazy. Yeah, man. The Judgment Day LWO had a tag team match, 8-man tag. Judgment Day got the win, obviously. And then Dom went to go and splash Ray through the announce table, and out come Damien and Damien and Rhea, sorry, to stop it.
Hold on, though, because I gotta say, I do love the continuous Ray is still holding out hope for his son. Like,
I mean, like, he's being a good dad,
like,
you know?
Come back, like, he's just being a dad. That's all he's trying to be.
He is.
While just simultaneously getting shoved and bullied every time that they're in the ring together because Dom is like 8 inches taller, which is just
true.
Probably so much fun for Rey Mysterio. But I love that this kind of still continues. I love that. I don't love that we don't acknowledge WrestleMania 39. Something about that gets forgotten in the little dance that they do.
What was Mania 39? Oh yeah, that was the street fight they had, right? Didn't they have a street fight?
He like whipped him with the belt,
right?
With the Cinnamon Toast Crunch logo.
Yeah, but more importantly, Dom got a second W over his deadbeat dad.
Two-time
deadbeat dad beater. Domestic violence.
The Terror Twins come out and we do things again.
That's right. The same thing happened this is like rinse and repeat of anything else you've seen. The two of them somehow overcome the odds and fight off the 5 of them. I really do hope that the blow off of this is a match between Rhea and Dom 1-on-1. I really think that's where you got a crescendo to. Netflix.
Won't be on USA. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, damn right it won't be on USA. It could be on Netflix. It could be on Netflix.
Oh, here's my point. Notice how we keep saying the same shit?
Yes.
Every segment?
Yes.
This has been a very
repetitive
point of contention. That is the point of contention with online forums and YouTube and Twitter that I do see. And it's very noticeable.
It's starting to become noticeable, yeah. I started noticing it in the last couple of weeks. Since SummerSlam, mostly. Definitely am noticing it a little bit. And now they're having this, like, Intercontinental Championship tournament, so, like, they're kind of phoning it in that regard as well when it comes to the mid-card, because you don't really need a story if you're just going to have a tournament to build to Braun's next challenger, which brings up the that match, that tournament, that segment of Raw. So we had 2 SmackDown, what am I talking about? 2 Intercontinental Championship title tournament matches. The winners of these triple threat matches and 2 triple threats that are happening next week are all going to face off in a fatal 4-way, and the winner of that will face Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. Jey Uso defeated Karrion Kross and Kofi Kingston, and Pete Dunne defeated Xavier Woods and The Miz. First off, this is obvious choices. Love these
choices, though. Love this.
I agree.
Pete Dunne is also playing double duty right now, so
yeah. Yep, he's a mainstay in NXT. Yep. But I will say, I thought they were going to pull the trigger on having Xavier win only because of the story that they're having with Xavier and Kofi and New Day, you know? I'm glad that they didn't, personally. I love Pete Dunne, so I'll take it. But I thought that they were going to have Xavier win because, like, they went out of their way to have him make, like, or change his gear. because then it plays into Karrion's thought of like maybe Xavier is the better one of the team right now. Maybe Kofi, maybe you
I like
are
that
falling
idea.
off. I
I like
hate the
that idea.
story. I hate the story, but if you're gonna make it,
Really
if
into
you're
it.
gonna do it, you may as well just go all in on it. You know. I really thought they were gonna have Xavier come out with a win, but hey, maybe him losing will add fuel to this fire, and if he's gonna turn heel, he needs to do it. Like if they at this point they've committed to this story for so long, he probably should turn heel at this point, right? Like I don't if after all this he's still a face and still with New Day and nothing changes, was it worth all of this time?
Maybe it's a Survivor Series thing.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I could maybe. I don't know.
I mean, is the next matches announced? Who's in the next ones?
They did announce them. I don't have them written down. I can find them.
So while he does that,
Yeah, I'll mute real quick.
because the one of the fatal four way goes to fight Breaker. Breaker is going to beat whoever that is, so it doesn't really matter. It does matter though.
I have our matches.
What I will say is it can't be Jey Uso.
They're building to Jey Uso challenging eventually. I think Jey might be the one that takes it from Braun, but I don't.
Which means he's losing. Right
which means he's losing
beforehand. But he's not getting
yeah. No, that's why it's a fatal four-way final because you can't have Jey eat the pin. Next week's matches are Sheamus, Ludwig Kaiser, and Bronson Reed. So obviously we're having Bronson win that.
Yeah.
And then also Ilya Dragunov versus Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio. I think we go with Dominic on that.
Dragunov seems pretty likely.
I'm torn between the two of them. I can't see Dom might lose because Damian costs him, to be honest with you, because that story Rhea might cost him.
Yeah.
Because that story's not done after that mixed tag.
No, not a chance. So either way, it won't be Jey Uso. It might be Pete Dunne.
It's gonna be Bronson Reed.
I don't know. I don't know if they want him to take an L though, because I don't think they want him to beat. Right?
That's a good point. That is a good point.
That's why I was like,
you could have Rollins return. So. You could have Rollins return at that point.
No contest.
I know. I don't know. Maybe they have Braun. Maybe they have Braun cost Bronson. You have Braun interfere in Bronson versus Braun.
So talk to me about Trunkpocalypse. You witnessed Trunkpocalypse.
Well, not really. In reality, now that it happened, not really. And let's talk about that. Good point. So we had a match between Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman on Monday Night Raw. Honestly, I was kind of checking in and out on this. I was talking with people I was with. I was on my phone. I was in and out. But they were it was the in-ring stuff. The part I actually got to see in the arena was fine. Like, it wasn't amazing. It was just a standard back and forth at the beginning of the match. Then they start fighting, and then they just kind of... First off, I thought they rang a bell, but apparently they didn't. So then they just keep running up the ramp, and they're just beating each other up. I'm like, wait, why are they right in front of us now? Because we were right in front of the ramp, like right in front of the stage. Right, or I guess if you're looking at the stage, we're on the left of it. And I'm like, why are they up here now? Where are they going? And then they went backstage. We all booed because we couldn't see the match anymore. Yeah, I mean, it was cool to see. It's just like it didn't hit as hard because it wasn't happening in the same room. We were watching it happen from a screen. But I will say it was a very cool spot when they did get to the crescendo of Bronson tsunamiing Braun on the roof of a car, and like they rigged the car so like the glass would shatter on it, like the glass explode. It was definitely like a stunt car, like one that was just like put there and meant to be like broken and whatever. They go over the top. They shattered all the glass windows out. You know, they had some sparks flying in it. You know, it was cool though. It was a really cool spot. Part of me, I like it, but part of me doesn't really like. It doesn't hit as hard because they just did something very similar like 3 months ago with Braun Breaker. But maybe that's why they're doing it, because then they get to this match between Bronson and Braun. Both these dudes have beaten people and used cars in the parking lot and just everything possible to maim their opponent. So maybe that's where they're going with it. It's hard to tell. It just kind of makes it seem a little meh, because it already happened recently.
I mean, the whole point of this is to show Bronson Reed is a killer. And when he does eventually face Braun, that will be a big deal. I don't know who wins that because I would like both, right? I don't, and there's still Rollins. I don't know if Rollins is going to do anything with him or if he was just a seller, and Rollins will stay up in the upper card. Um, yeah, a couple killers, a lot of big meat.
It was meaty. I was trying to get a meat chant going, but no one was really coming along with me on that. Which is interesting because
chant.
other shows I've been to, we chanted meat. And I don't know, Providence is like Boston, but we're just not like, I don't know, maybe
cool.
yeah, we're not as cool. But
cool.
But it was fun to be there. It was a good show. And what else? Punk versus McIntyre. So Drew McIntyre comes out, cuts a promo, very simple, very standard promo. And then Drew McIntyre, or sorry, CM Punk. I'm there with Nick and Owen, and for those of you who have listened to us from the beginning, you know that Nick and Owen are friends of ours that are occasionally, very infrequently on the podcast. So they're my friends from high school, from elementary school growing up. We all went to the show together, and Nick looks to me and he's like, "Yo, CM Punk's live right now?" And he opens it up on his phone, and this is while Drew is talking, and we're like, it's pitch black. I'm like, well, wait a minute, it's loading. But then I saw like metal bars and just like shit happen, like a little bit of red in the thing. I'm like, dude, he's under the ring. And Nick's like, nah, no, he's not. I was like, dude, he's under the ring. Like that's under the ring. And eventually he was like, yeah, he's under the ring. And we're just waiting at that point for him to do something. Which is it was kind of cool to be like in person, seeing Drew cut this promo, but then also watching that, knowing that Punk is under the ring. I don't think we were supposed to know, but we did. And so Punk comes out, he attacks Drew. He whips him a bunch of times with a belt or a strap. They want to call it a strap. It was a belt. And then Drew runs off and Punk's in the ring and he's like, I'm going to kick your ass. And Drew's like, no, you're not. And that was how it ended. But I don't know. It was cool.
No.
I'm going to kick your ass. No, you're not. It's basically what it was. I mean, come on. Punk is winning, though. Like that is the
Yeah, he's definitely winning. He has to win. He has to win. We're trading victories.
Yes,
I find that very similar to like when The Rock came back with Rusev and like there was a picture that got tweeted, like, God, it had to be 60 seconds by before his music hit. And I saw it at just the wrong time.
And you were spoiled. He knew.
And I was like, no way. But it still created, a really cool moment. The Brooklyn return, I think it was 2015. Super fun.
Yeah, man.
This was fun for Punk. It's, again, they're kind of playing with fourth wall and breaking it and doing things. This is fun, so it gives, people who are eagle-eyed or just happen to also, or maybe even be like just distracted, but they're still following WWE stuff.
Yep.
And good for him for having a notification on, and he just went for it.
For real.
So
for real.
And it gives kind of a different camera angle for those who care, and maybe they'll do more of these. It's like one of these new shots that they're trying out.
Yep.
Super interesting, actually, from a production standpoint.
No, seriously. And it was actually cool because when Punk went to walk back, so apparently there was a tunnel right beneath our seats. So Punk, when he left from that segment, walked right past underneath us and literally like looked up at us and like was like making eye contact. I was with my older brother as well, and my older brother isn't a CM Punk fan, and so he was going literally just like big thumbs down right at CM Punk, and Punk saw it. So great,
that's awesome.
Shout out Lance. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was another one of the. I don't know why lately I've just keep getting wrestling tickets right on the tunnels. Like we had the seats at WrestleMania right by the tunnel. We were seeing people walking in and out.
The tunnel is nice.
Tunnel is nice.
And so again, with this feud, if you've noticed, they kind of hit each other. They kind of talk some shit.
This one, I especially feel like wheels are spinning, and that's because
we're cooled way down right now.
Yeah,
I'm bored.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not bored because like it's still good television. It's just like it's still entertaining, right? It's just like nothing new is happening. That's the big thing. Like we've done everything. We've done everything, but the problem was they had to keep the feud alive while they both were injured, which honestly they probably didn't have to, but they still did.
We ran all of Post-Mania into the ground.
Yeah, I think it is. I think we kind of need to move on from.
I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to move on from. I think we kind of need to all of this.
Uh,
There's so much new shit that should probably.
I kind of agree, and that's why I'm a big fan of Braun Breaker right now because it feels very fresh with him as the champion. Because Sammy was the one that won it from Gunther at Mania, so now it really feels like okay, the IC title has moved on from WrestleMania 40. Like we're on to new shit, which
I agree with that.
which is why I like it. And it's interesting. Like the triple threats, are they the greatest lineups? No, it's obvious to know who's gonna win each one. But it's still cool to see.
Not main event talent, but it's
right. It's all the it's the mid and lower card. It's Jey Uso in the undercard. You know what I mean? Like it's yeah, it's pretty much all it is.
The rest of the undercard.
It is. But yeah, so that was the major segments of Raw besides the closing segment. I know. Or is that what you were telling me to wait for?
You got it.
All right. So that closing segment was fucking awesome. He was fucking sick. Uncle Howdy made his in-ring debut, defeating Chad Gable. And was it an incredible match? No. Bo Dallas is fucking huge now, dude. He's fucking huge. I could not get over how large this guy was in person. Because I had seen him, I think it was during the B Team days, at one of these Raw tapings at some point. And I think it was when the B Team was working with Miz at one point, if I'm not mistaken. And he was not small, but he wasn't bulky and big. He bulked up for this. Maybe it's also just because like Chad Gable's kind of small in stature, and just like small in general. But my God, dude, like it was great. And Uncle Howdy like hasn't lost a beat. He really hasn't lost a beat in the ring. I like that he kept the mask on. I like that was the move. That was the move to keep the mask on him. I'm sure he could have looked cool without it, but like I think it's cool that like Uncle Howdy is still Uncle Howdy and everybody else is like Eric Rowan, Dexter Loomis, Joe Gacy, and then Abby the Witch is Abby the Witch for some reason. Or sometimes they call her Nikki Cross, but it feels like they're not calling Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas or anything. They're just calling him Uncle Howdy. So, which is cool. Really cool moment. As soon as I don't know if the cameras caught it, for those that watched Raw on television, but when Uncle Howdy hit the Sister Abigail and pinned Chad Gable for the win, he immediately was on his knees, got up to his knees, and just pointed up and just like acknowledged his tribal chief. I'm kidding. He was obviously acknowledging the late great Bray Wyatt, who passed away, and his brother, and it's the whole inspiration for this gimmick. Super cool moment. It was really cool to be there. The night ended for us with the Fireflies going, and everybody made their way out of the arena, and Bo Dallas kept his pointing acknowledgement finger up as he walked out of the arena. And then they sent us home.
Super awesome for him to get that moment. I do believe by date standards we're either a couple days removed or right on the date of the passing, so we're 1 year out, so that has to be a emotional moment for him, an emotional day. I mean, the whole thing's emotional, right? That's where it gets you. He's fine in the ring. He's doing great. I did like that he kept the mask on. The split is intentional too, because he has come out as Bo Dallas and they call him Bo Dallas, and then he comes out as Howdy and he's Howdy. So I do like that we're doing that. I like that we're going with a split. We're not, insulting my intelligence. Please don't insult my intelligence because it's already stupid enough.
No, that's fair. I seriously like everything was exactly what I wanted, and we got all of Bray's moves. He's doing all of Bray's moves. He's doing the mandible claw. He's doing the Sister Abigail. He did the corner spot where he like looks backwards at you, so he looks like he's like looking at you upside down. That was really cool. Yeah, he's doing all of it. Next, he'll be doing the crab walk, which is it's great, man. It's all the stuff for Bray. It's all the best of Bray. I'm looking forward to where they go. I'm still apprehensive. I'm still nervous, and I don't want to be nervous, but I don't trust. I haven't seen a gimmick like this work.
Same. I'm also nervous. I know. How do I word this without being insensitive? This is not meant to be insensitive, so let's just put that out there right now. Now that we understand each other, the how do we make this move forward in a way that's very Bray Wyatt, because it's the Bray Wyatt universe, without having to solely rely on the fact that it's a Bray Wyatt universe, if that makes sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Like everything so far that we've seen, it has some kind. I mean, I guess besides like the vignettes that we get and stuff like that, yeah, everything's kind of just a big callback to Bray. Even when Bo was there as Bo Dallas, he was there with the sweater vest. Like he was there with the sweater and the button-down shirt, dressed like a Firefly Funhouse guy. Was he not?
Yeah.
Unless I'm mistaken, but I swear
it might have been black, but like
yeah, but very similar, right? And like I'm with you. That's not insensitive. Like there's nothing wrong with it. Like yeah, at what point does this become Uncle Howdy / Bo Dallas's character? And from, obviously there's obviously always going to be some kind of tribute, some kind of inspiration from Bray Wyatt, but at what point does it become more than that? And I completely agree. I think we'll have to see. I think that from where we go from here, we'll have to see. And I think it's already kind of getting there, because like obviously with Bray, like it was a very small faction always. It was always 3-4 guys. It was like Bray, Rowan, and Harper, and then they had Randy Orton at one point, and they had Daniel Bryan at one point. So at the most, they've always been 4. Now they have 5. Sorry, 5. Which is interesting, and it all is built on all of the lore that Bray has built through his various characters, right? All the characters he created in his head, right? All the motifs from the Funhouse, all the motifs from the Fiend, all the motifs from even the cult leader days. Uncle Howdy's talking like the OG Bray Wyatt from the Bayou Swamp cult leader type stuff. With those sort of rambling diatribes that just kind of like, make like it just kind of sound overly grandeur, like he's trying to like recruit people into this cult. Yeah, man, I'm intrigued. I'm scared. I'm enjoying it. We'll see.
All right. Well, there is supposedly a pay-per-view.
There is, in fact, a pay-per-view.
So I'm gonna be honest. I forgot that the show was happening, because I kept seeing. I only remembered when I saw the Terror Twins come in.
Yep.
To come fuck up the schmucks again, and I was like, oh yeah, that's why we're still doing this. I was like, what is going on? I watched this? Oh yeah, that's right. There's a show. We're in Berlin.
I literally was on my way to the show and realized this is the go home for Bash in Berlin. I didn't even realize. And yeah, like I think it's because it's so close. It was so close to SummerSlam. It was only 3 weeks ago. Usually there's at least 4 weeks, sometimes 4 to 6 weeks in between these PLEs. So it's interesting that they're jumping on the next one so fast, and I think it's just because like they wanted to do a show in Europe again, and they were like, Germany, all right, we can do this date, bet, let's just get it, let's just take the date, And
they may have also wanted to hit one more big moment before they have to start fighting football and fighting for their life.
Yes,
no matter how good this writing is, no matter how good Triple H is, wrestling is not beating the NFL.
Right. That's true. They also didn't have Bad Blood lined up yet. So maybe at that point they weren't anticipating Bad Blood being a thing, and they thought maybe this would be the last show until Survivor Series, we don't know what was in their minds, you know what I mean? It seemed like Bad Blood was kind of thrown together spur of the moment, or they were just trying to say, we'll try and get a show in this date range, we might get one, we might not. And then it turned out they got both. Right. Who knows? But let's dive in. So we got Bash in Berlin is this Saturday. Let's kick it off with the United States Championship. LA Knight, is defending the U.S. Championship in an open challenge, and we do not know who his opponent will be. So let's start with that. Who do you think the opponent's going to be?
Who's a free agent right now? Is anybody a free agent right now?
So I don't know if anyone's necessarily a free agent. I'll go first though. I think it's one guy or 2 guys. There's 2 guys that I have in my mind. One or both of them could be the challenger. First off, Ludwig Kaiser, literally from Germany, literally billed from Germany, not advertised for the show. He's a heel, so it works perfectly to go against LA Knight. And in my opinion, he deserves a match. But my thought is he's probably just going to come out and be the valet for Gunther, unfortunately. But I think he deserves more than that. The other person in my mind is Ilya Dragunov. Another guy who I thought should have got the match against Gunther to begin with for the World Heavyweight title, but they hadn't had enough time to really build him up for that. Another guy who it makes no sense as to why he's not wrestling on this show, and he deserves to. So I would say either Ilya Dragunov or Ludwig Kaiser. What say you?
You're hitting the that style in that area. But both of those Raw guys?
They are, but I think that's the point, right? It's an open challenge, but it's a PLE.
Right, like LA Knight's winning. Yeah, I get it. LA Knight's winning either way.
Right.
But I don't know. If no one's a free agent, it could really be anybody. We could just. I feel like this won't open the show just because the TBD factor can really.
Oh yeah. I just kind of stacked up the order in terms of like least to most least to most stakes or something. You know.
I feel like I read at some point Matt Hardy wanted to come to WWE. I hope not. I hope that's not what we're doing. Logan Paul could always appear. That is an option. But they usually like to get the Logan Paul money and the brand exposure. I don't know. Who else is available?
Yeah, what if we did run back LA Knight?
You could bring in Carmelo Hayes.
You could. My only thought is he's kind of tied up with Andrade right now.
Which Andrade could maybe answer as well, and that could be a thing, but you don't really want them to, while they're in a feud, losing to LA Knight. I don't really see that as being a good thing for them. Because then it's like, what are we fighting for?
I'm trying to think if there's anybody like that, recently could have potentially been a new signing or somebody that is in NXT that's not really doing much, but NXT's kind of been cooking recently.
I don't know. This will definitely be something. Tony D'Angelo.
You think it's Tony D? Tony D's tied up with Oba Femi on Sunday, though.
Double duty.
Double duty.
To Germany and then back to Florida.
Actually, I don't know where No Mercy is. No Mercy's not in the Capitol Wrestling Center. I forget where it is though. Denver, Colorado. Interesting.
Well, LA Knight. Nantes LA Knight. It'll be fun. It won't open the show because we can.
The winner of this match will be LA Knight. The reign just getting started. I think this is the first of many open challenges to come. And I think the open challenge makes it perfect at a PLE for someone from Raw to come over and challenge. And I think it's going to be Dragunov or Kaiser, and LA Knight will win either way. Solid. Next match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, we have Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the Unholy Union, defending against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. You tired? No, just bored.
This ain't it.
Just bored.
This ain't it.
This ain't
it.
This is
my piss break.
I actually like.
I'm watching this. I'm peeing.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I like the idea. I like what they're trying to do with the women's tag team titles. They're really trying to build it up. I have a hot take though. I think Fire and Dawn are going to retain, and I think that this is going to be the time that they kickstart this Bianca Belair Jade Cargill heel turn, because
you have been waiting for this.
Yeah, I've been waiting for it. I think it's going to be a Jade Cargill heel turn, and I think that it's been like they lost the belts, right? And it was like, this was back in June, and it was like, what are they going to do? And they spent the past couple of months kind of rebuilding their stock, getting more wins, building their way back to the titles. Meanwhile, Fire and Dawn were over on Raw with the titles. They're over on NXT with the titles. They're everywhere with these women's tag team titles. They finally come back around to Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. You think they're going to come out with the win. Somehow, something goes wrong. Maybe the heels use some cheap tactics, and they retain the titles. And then Jade's like, bro, I wasted so much time on this, and you fucked it up for us. And just have her just go nuts. I think this is the time.
I'm down for it. Because what else are those two going to do? I don't really want to see them get the belts again. But I don't care about this.
Yeah, and that would be Alba Fire and Isla Dawn retaining. If Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill do win the titles, I won't be mad, only because I know that means the titles will actually have some effort put into them, because now they'll have some champions they actually care about. But if they lose and don't turn heel and don't break up, then I'm going to be like, bro, what the fuck was the point of all of this? That's where I'm at. Next up, it was hard to kind of prioritize these, so I'm just going to this match. The mixed tag team match with the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley going against Liv Morgan, the women's world champion, and Dominic Mysterio. Who you got?
Oh my god, the Schmucks are winning this.
The Schmucks? Who are the Schmucks?
The Schmucks.
Liv and Dom?
Liv and Dom. The Schmucks are winning this.
You think Liv and Dom are winning?
Liv and Dom are winning. There's absolutely no reason for Liv to take a pin. There's absolutely no reason for Dom to take a pin. The goal is Damian and Finn.
I love Dom as much as the next guy, but there absolutely is a reason for Dom to eat the pin.
No, he could eat any spot that he wants to from Rhea.
That's not going to happen until down the line. I think that's what we're waiting on. We're going to get Rhea versus Dom. I really think we're getting there.
It also slows all momentum down for Liv to lose right now, and the goal is to get Rhea back the belt. Adversity.
I'm gonna disagree. I think while
some of that is troll, some of that is actually real.
While lol, because trolling. I'm going with the faces. I'm going with Rhea and Damian. As much as I want the new Judgment Day to succeed, I think they need some heat back. That being Rhea and Damian after the whole big turn. Plus, if Damian wants to get his hands on Finn, he's got to go through Dom to get to Finn. So I think this is the time that you have Damian pin Dom, because Dom can eat the pin, in my opinion. Liv doesn't have to be involved in the finish, and Damian can get that win to move his way up into the ranks of the Judgment Day, back to kicking the shit out of Finn. Eventually we get Finn versus Damian, maybe at Bad Blood. Over the coming weeks, we have him beat the shit out of Carlito, beat the shit out of JD. Fuck it, put him at a 2-on-1. Damian could still realistically win. So that's where I think we go. I could see why you would pull for Liv and Dom, though. I really want them to win, because then it would get some heat on the new Judgment Day, which they need that too.
Either way, this is one of the hottest matches of it.
Yeah, I gotta say, the opening segment of Raw was hot as shit, dude. Everybody went nuts for that, and after that, the crowd was kind of dead from there until the Wyatt stuff. Actually, they were hot for Randy Orton, too.
I mean, Rhea is consistently getting the best reactions of the entire roster.
Yes.
That male, female, SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. She's getting the highest reaction out there.
I don't know if she's getting a higher reaction than Cody. Cody's got some big pops, dude.
I've heard more mommy chants than I've heard Cody chants.
Have you heard more mommy chants than whoa?
No. Okay,
exactly. No, I'm just playing. Next up, we got a strap match: CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. We already talked about it. You can go rewind it if you want to watch it, but CM Punk's gonna win it. That way, he doesn't have to pin Drew. All he has to do is hit the corners to win the match.
Punk.
And then we get
no blood, which is just stupid, because this is a match that needs blood. So
there might be blood. One of them's gonna whip the other one so bad they're gonna bleed. That's my prediction.
Head bleeding. This is why I liked All In. The clip that I saw.
My God, All In was a good show. That's fair. Probably the best AEW show I had seen as a fan of In-N-Out fan of AEW. Yeah, man, it's got to go to Hell in a Cell. It has to go to Hell in a Cell, and it has to go to Bad Blood. And Drew McIntyre has to get the win there.
So, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
They blade Bad Blood. We bring back blading.
Oh my God. WWE Championship match up next. We got Cody Rhodes defending the championship against Kevin Owens. This could main event, but it shouldn't because of the next match we'll talk about. But who you got, Tim?
In response to that comment, Cody's main event. He has to.
Not in Berlin. He has to. Not in Berlin.
Oh, well, okay, fair enough. Either way, Cody's winning. Duh. There's a stinger here. I don't know what the stinger is, because it may not be a heel turn at all. Maybe a new face in the fray. Who knows? But there's something here, and there's going to be a stinger.
I think Bloodline could get involved somehow.
Oh,
I know. They're not booked.
Second thought, go do the exact thing that we want you to do. Just
do it
take
squeaky
Kevin Owens
clean
and do the thing. Take Kevin Owens and do the thing. Just don't even play with me.
Yeah, I would love to see KO just I want the bell to ring, and I wish my ideal booking, the bell rings, KO goes absolutely fucking crazy and just destroys Cody Rhodes, and honestly wouldn't be mad if he won the belt, but he probably won't.
We know.
Yeah. Well, we know he's not gonna win, but yeah, a heel turn would be sick. Yeah, Cody's got to win. He's not dropping it here. And that's that. Maybe we'll get the heel turn after the match. Maybe we'll get it on the SmackDown afterwards. Who knows? The main event of the show, though.
Dark suit Cody.
Dark suit Cody. Jet black Cody.
Bring it back.
The main event of Bash in Berlin, though, has to be for the World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Gunther, going in against Randy Orton. We're running back the final of the King of the Ring because that was not a conclusive finish. And Triple H promised it. And when Triple H promises, he delivers, apparently. So, Gunther versus Randy Orton. Gunther's winning. There's no question in my mind that Gunther is winning.
Good for him on getting a main event, especially over Cody Rhodes, and especially with the second. Also, I believe this is one of the first times that this World Heavyweight title incarnation will main event at the end of the show.
It's the second time. It is the second time.
And be the match.
And be the match?
Like Seth was in the main event of night 1 of Mania, but he wasn't defending.
Drew versus Damian was main event of Clash of the Castle.
That's right.
But that's why I'm saying the second time.
It's really sad.
Yeah, that you forgot?
No, that's really sad that's sad.
Oh, well, nah, because Drew was from Scotland. They had to have Drew main event. Plus, that was the match where it was like that was the most like unsure match of like Damian could win, but Damian also isn't booked that strongly as a champion, and Drew McIntyre's from Scotland, but Damian should hold the belt. That was like everybody's thought process through the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
good for Gunther. He's getting a W.
Yeah, Gunther's going to get the big win. It's his first title defense since winning the title at SummerSlam. Yeah, we're going to be smooth sailing to Gunther versus who did I say? Drew McIntyre. It's going to be Gunther Drew, I think, after the whole Punk stuff wraps up, and I think Drew's going to take the title from Gunther. That's my opinion. I could see it.
We got to start kicking into Royal Rumble eventually.
We really do. And then WrestleMania before we know it. I think we're 8 months away from WrestleMania right now. That's pretty wild. It's already been 4 months since we were there. Crazy.
What a good time. I was watching that the other day.
Incredible vibes. I'm really still trying to go to 41. I'm still trying to go.
41 indeed.
Maybe we'll make it. Who knows? But y'all, that's Bash in Berlin.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 matches. Which is average for a Triple H card. That's actually a little more on the heavy side. Triple H usually books like 5 matches is like his golden number. But 6 is good. I think we're gonna have shorter matches though on this card. I think
no nonsense.
Yeah, maybe no nonsense. I'd be down. Maybe just what a concept. You know what I mean? Just do the matches and call it a day. We do have NXT No Mercy as well. You want to run through those real quick? We can just like lightning round those. All right, cool. Zachary Wentz versus Wesley. That's a Wesley win, easy.
Yeah, Wesley just turned heel. He's got it.
Just turned heel. Zach Wentz is a TNA guy. They're not going to have a TNA guy go over a fresh NXT guy with a fresh character with a mission. Hell not.
Women's North. Didn't like the promo.
Yeah, that promo was ass. That promo was dookie. It was kind of a face promo actually, which is really bad because this dude was dastardly the week before. Women's North American Championship. Kalani Jordan defends against Wendy Chu. I think it's going to be Kalani Jordan. I think Wendy would be cool, but I think that Kalani's still just getting started as Women's North American Champion. I think she might drop it to... God, I don't know who she's going to drop it to. There are too many women in NXT to keep track of, but it's not going to be Wendy Chu this time around. Maybe down the line. The NXT Women's Championship. Roxanne Perez defending against Jada Parker of OTM. What do you got? I got Rox as well. Ain't no way she's dropping to anybody.
We need to find her a way to drop this thing because I want her on the show.
Julia's going to pop up, I think.
But also, we can't do anything until we have this TNA girl take it.
Oh, she ain't TNA. She's Stardom, I think. God, I feel really bad. Yusuf would know. I think she's from Stardom. Yep, she was from Stardom. Julia. And she's coming. She's probably gonna. She could pop up at the end of this match, and just be like,
no, not her. The other TNA, the actual TNA girl.
Oh, Jordan, you want Jordan Grace to take it? Okay, all right. I can see Jordan Grace taking it. She's the TNA Knockouts champion right now.
When she signs in January and is no longer in TNA.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I think they go Julia, but I could see that as well. NXT Tag Team Championship. Chase U, Ridge Holland, and Andre Chase. Chase U, they're up the U, defending against Axiom and Nathan Fraser. Chase U, they just won the belts. Okay, next match.
It's only how long you're going to make me hold it.
In all fairness, though, yeah, Chase U just got the belts. We're going to build to this Axiom Nathan Fraser split. I think Fraser's going to go heel. I don't care. I don't care about either of them, and I really want to, and they're phenomenal wrestlers, but I can't. Like, it's not working for me. NXT North American Championship. Oba Femi, the mountain that you cannot climb, defends against Tony D'Angelo. I'm going Oba. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's Oba.
He will save us all. He will be the next Roman Reigns, and that is just how it is.
Yep.
5 years, WWE champion, Oba Femi in like 5 years.
He will be the greatest.
Shot.
He's calling corner pocket. He's calling corner pocket.
My shot.
Nah, this guy is gonna be the greatest NXT North American champion of all time after this reign is over. I firmly believe that. And Wesley was a phenomenal champion, but I think Oba Femi's gonna have him beat. This man is a banger after banger, nonstop. Last match of the night, the NXT Championship match between Ethan Page, All Ego, defending against TNA's Joe Hendry. Who you got, man?
Do not believe in Joe Hendry.
Damn.
Still a TNA guy. While it is super fun to see him around, and he is super fun as a character, we're all obsessed with his character. We love the way he works. We love it's so fucking easy. He's so fucking over, and he's going to lose, and it's okay. It will be okay.
I don't want to agree, but I have to agree. Until Joe Hendry puts pen to paper on an NXT or WWE contract, he ain't touching that NXT title. It's got to be Ethan Page, unless they try and use it as a bargaining chip. Unless they just be like, "Hey, you got it," but I don't see Ethan Page dropping this belt for a while. I could see also them running this match back down the line at some point. Maybe Halloween Havoc, we do a rematch. Who knows? We also could be running back. Oh, actually, one match that we could run back is Joe Hendry Wesley, because Wesley did attack Joe Hendry recently. But yeah, that's NXT No Mercy locked down.
It will be okay, but you do not have to believe in Joe Hendry.
I do believe in Joe Hendry, but I believe that Joe Hendry will lose that match for sure.
That was a good flip.
Thank you. I tried.
Way to turn heel.
Oh man,
you learned.
No, I mean, like, listen, that's just facts. I can't deny facts. You know what I mean? Plus, I can't bet against my twin, Ethan Page. Come on.
Fair enough.
Y'all see this? It's all in the hair and the beard.
We have Ethan Page and Roman Reigns talking about NXT. What more do you want?
Exactly.
Speaking of not the main roster of WWE, we could also just not talk about WWE. There was a giant stadium event that wasn't in North America. AEW has held their second in a row All In from the Wembley Stadium in London. Good job. We're here for it. We're here for it. That was just some solid stuff. I mean, we like a lot of the things that happened. I don't have a problem with Bryan winning. Do we?
I actually thought Bryan was going to win. Like that, I called that. I didn't. Not that I couldn't see Swerve winning, but I just like it's Daniel Bryan, or sorry, Bryan Danielson. I still can't get that right sometimes.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going to retire. Like, he has so much left to accomplish in his career.
He has more. I love that this is the first time that I've watched one of them put their world title on a WWE guy, not named John Moxley that I like.
I mean, that's kind of fair.
Because again, I mean Jericho is Jericho, but it's when it's overbearing, it's overbearing.
Yeah.
But John Moxley, truly, that wasn't Dean Ambrose. And the same way I look at this Bryan Danielson, it's not really Daniel Bryan. They're not the same guy.
Mm-mm.
They're not. And that's really nice. And it's really nice that they held off, but it's also really nice that they, gave him his flowers. He's earned that for 20 years of this in this business. He's earned to get his moment again in a stadium, again with Brie in the middle of the big ring, and again with the pyro. 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting parallel that they decided to do with WrestleMania 30, and this, of course, WWE also copying their WrestleMania 30 with 40 with Cody. So a lot of interesting kind of parallels there. Everybody's kind of just chasing each other's high, and it's kind of working, and everybody's getting over in the business of wrestling. So it works. Who? Wow, I feel dumb, and I'm not remembering who won the MJF match.
Oh, I got the card pulled up. Will Ospreay defeated MJF to win going into the match, it was the AEW American Championship. After the match, it was rechristened as the International Championship. So Will Ospreay gets the title back, beating MJF. Phenomenal match. Most importantly though, Will hit the Tiger Driver to win. And the crowd went
big story out of that.
Absolute ape for that.
There's the Darby Allin match with the Sting cameo.
Yeah.
Always hilarious.
I mean, we had the Ricochet debut in the Casino Gauntlet match. We had, which is good to see him.
5 out of to like a 7 out of 10 reaction. It wasn't like huge, but everybody was like, "Word,
yeah,
welcome."
Right. He's gonna do amazing in AEW. He's gonna do amazing.
Didn't think
stuff.
It was gonna be now. We didn't think it was gonna be right then, which was nice. Like we knew it was happening. So,
I'm just saying. I put out a tweet about this. On the Vacant Wrestling Twitter, at Vacant Wrestling, go follow us. Actually, it's not at Vacant Wrestling, but just search Vacant Wrestling, you'll find me. But yeah, I tweeted, I know that Ricochet said he wasn't hologram, but hologram's been real quiet since Ricochet showed up in AEW. So I'm just saying, we still have yet to see them in the same ring. So I'll believe it when I see it. A lot of Christian Cage on the show as well.
Britt Baker stumped the joint out.
I wanted to like it.
Mercedes afterwards went on a nice little tirade. In that tirade, Saraya comes out. Or no, in a different tirade, Saraya comes out. We saw this part.
This was on the pre-show.
The media scrum. No, was it pre-show or a scrum?
Oh, I'm thinking of a different segment, I think. Saraya was in the stadium during the pre-show.
Yeah, Saraya comes into the press conference and talks her shit. She was like, "It's my," but calling out some of the moves that AEW's making, but it didn't really slap. It was kind of bad. Sorry, Saraya.
It was kind of bad in the beginning of the show too. Like the segment I was thinking about at during the countdown, she came out and was like, "I'm not on the card. Wah, wah, wah. I built women's wrestling today and blah, blah, blah. I'm not on the card. The show isn't proceeding until, this is addressed." And then Jamie Hayter returned and took out Saraya. So we're going to probably get that match down the line. That was pretty cool. Christian Cage. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Women's belts. And yet I still I'm still bored.
I don't know, dude, because I don't know how, I mean, for one, I'm not bored of the Women's World Championship feud right now, or the blow off of it.
Love that.
Mariah May defeating Timeless Toni Storm. I don't know much about Mariah May. I just know that she was like the second to Toni Storm during this whole character, and she kind of just got too big and kicked her to the curb, kicked Toni to the curb, took her title, slapped her mom at ringside. That was fucking great. Yeah, man, I loved it. I loved it. That was one of my favorite matches because of the story of it. Like the fact that it was tearing Tony apart to even be in this match to begin with. Like, listen, I'm not an AEW hater, but I also don't take the time to watch AEW. That's not to say that it's bad. I don't think it's bad inherently. I think they make some very bad moves, but nights like this one, like All In, are nights why this company has legs to stand on. Like why they belong here as an alternative.
So while this alternative is great and everybody's getting, the other side of wrestling, let's talk about somebody who did get a great reaction at first, and that was Jack Perry. Scapegoat entrance got nothing. Oof.
I want to like Jack Perry. I want to like the guy.
We want to like him, but for things that we really shouldn't even know, and that's the problem. And now, like he's given into it too with this whole scapegoat gimmick.
I mean, yeah, they're trying to build it around it.
But then he's also like this weird devil character, which I'm kind of confused about, that I don't really understand. But I feel like I missed something between the match where I thought they were gonna set him on fire again.
Yep.
Or whatever. Like, fair. I was like, what? So what I don't know what I missed, but I missed
honestly
something.
Have no idea. I honestly have no idea.
But I mean, it looks cool. He gets the little flame tower things in his entrance. That's AEW's version of Pyro.
Yep. I mean, we talked about it, but he brought in the middle of the match with Darby, he pulls out a bag that he clearly brought with him, and everyone's like, "What is it?" And he turns the bag upside down, and a bunch of broken glass falls out, and everyone's cheering. And that was when the crowd really lit up for him, because obviously it was real glass. Cry me a river, CM Punk. But
they can't help themselves.
I know. But then the crowd chanted "fuck CM Punk." I can't with this shit, dude.
I mean, most of them were there last year, so they're probably mad.
That's true. I forgot about that. I forgot that was where
that crowd was probably there, so they saw his last AEW match. Unfortunately, this is the first All In 2 years to not have a incident. An incident. Absolutely. So last year and the year before, both I think had an incident.
Yep. Yeah, I think the year before it was very minor. Or no, maybe it was
that was Brawl Out.
It was All Out.
2 years ago was Brawl Out. And
it was
last
All Out
year was
2 years ago. Yeah, All Out 22, and then All In 23.
Yeah, so it's nice that they can hit late August, September, and not have a locker room fight. Oh wait, Britt Baker.
Oh wait, Britt Baker, you done fucked up. Why? I don't know.
This locker room is full of middle school children.
It really is, and it sucks so because funny. Not only was Britt Baker like, I don't know if it, like I'm no expert, I'm no HR professional, I'm no business professional. I mean, I'm educated in business, but I'm no AEW professional. I don't know everything that goes on in AEW. I don't know all the dirt sheets. I don't claim to know everything, but Britt Baker, dumb as fuck for talking shit. Everybody else involved, also just dumb as fuck for even entertaining it. Yes, yeah, all the whining and fighting and going in the locker room and trying to hash it out like man to man and like all this like toxic, just like like I don't want to say toxic masculinity, but like just like toxic bullshit, Like it kind of harkens back to old school wrestling where it's like you talk shit about someone, you have to fight to like solve the problem. Like you don't have to fight to solve the problem. Just like talk it out. You know what I mean? There has to be some reason why someone's talking shit about somebody. You know what I mean? And if not, then Britt's just a shitty person. I don't know.
While watching, I saw the Britt entrance where her she definitely was walking out with "fuck you" energy.
Mm-hmm.
There was definitely she knew she was going to lose, and she wasn't thrilled about it. I mean, she just came back.
Which is hilarious because Mercedes is notorious for coming out looking like she's about to lose a match, and she goes on to lose.
So that's all wrapped in irony. I don't totally feel bad for Britt, but I do a little bit because I do like Britt Baker. I do think. I mean,
she's an AEW original too.
We literally called her the savior. Somebody's got to save us.
Someone's got to save her.
Is there anything else in All In?
Yeah, Christian Cage pulled a double duty. So he was in the the trios ladder match. He lost the trios titles, and Killswitch walked off. He looked really pissed off. He like stormed out of the ring. And then later in the night, Christian Cage pops up in the Casino Gauntlet. And at the very end, one of the last entrants was not Killswitch, Luchasaurus. Titantron, graphics, theme, everything was Luchasaurus. He came out there, looked like he was about to turn on Christian Cage. Nope, it was a ruse. He helped Christian Cage win the match. So he's not Luchasaurus. It was all a plan. He faked being mad. Christian Cage now has a AEW world title shot whenever he wants it. Literally like a Money in the Bank.
This is the chip.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, that's cool. He's not gonna hold it. Or maybe he will. I don't know. Who cares? I don't care about that Money in the Bank concept for this.
Honestly, the second he won the chip, I was like, Brian's winning the main event. Because there's no point to run back Christian and Swerve. As good as they both are, there's no point to run that back. They kind of already solved that when they wrestled the first time. So the fresh move would be Cage versus Bryan Danielson. Family man against the patriarch. You know what I mean? Against the father of all fathers. That just makes sense to me. Especially after Bryan's whole story, like being such a family man, being so like family oriented, bringing his kids out for the match with Swerve and all of that. Like this it's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, like minor stuff. Like, I mean, Pac in the Blackpool Combat Club. So Pac, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli won the trios titles from the Patriarchy. That was cool.
Saw a very hot take that Claudio and John Moxley are solely keeping those two not only stars but relevant at all.
Who, Wheeler and Pac?
Wheeler and Pac.
I mean,
and
it could be. I mean, Wheeler, yes. Wheeler, yes. I will say Wheeler, yes.
Pac's had some bad luck.
Pac has had bad luck, and right at the point where you think he's at the precipice of breaking out, somebody else, a fresh new shiny toy, comes in like Ricochet, and then they push him instead, which probably gonna happen. Oh, Hook won the FTW title as well. It was fine.
Hey guys,
dude, they had. Did you see the entrance? Please tell me you saw the entrance.
Yeah, man. He played with Fozzy.
Hi guys! Like him at the drop, dude, was so funny. Oh my god, that's great.
I do love this. It is funny.
I like
Chris Jericho has a tendency to overstay his welcome,
and he has a tendency to win matches he doesn't deserve to win. And he deserve to win this title? Probably not. But it gave Hook this big moment alongside Taz helping him out, which and it's cool because commentary pointed it out too, and I could pick up on it just by watching that one match in a vacuum. That Taz doesn't step in and help his son, barely acknowledges that Hook is his son when he's on commentary. But the fact that he got up there and helped him, the fact that he did that, it was a way bigger deal because they built it up as like Taz wants Hook to be his own guy. Taz doesn't want to be Hook known as, or he doesn't want Hook to be known as Taz's son, you know? So I thought that was really cool. And Hook deserves it. I'm glad Hook is getting time and getting title wins, but how about a real title and not one that he like brought out, you know?
I was gonna say we've been here for like the last 3 years of Hook. I thought he should have been a star like 3 years ago.
He wrestled it for this title against Jack Perry last year.
Yeah, no.
Like
we could have moved on from this.
Yeah, I think we can, like, honestly, retire this belt. Retire the belt and just have Hook just...
Well, the belt's not sanctioned. It's not a sanctioned belt. They have quite a few of these unsanctioned belts. And also, it's like, dude, not everybody needs a belt, man. This is one of those moments where it's like, not everyone needs a belt. Yes, there's something to fight for. Sure, I get it. Your roster is 80 deep, and you don't do a brand split the way that WWE does it. Mm-hmm. Because you kind of just can't. It's just, it would be too easy that way.
Yeah.
So I get it, but man, we can move on.
We can. I forgot to mention as well, by the way, the opposite of moving on, jumping back. MJF Will Ospreay, Danny Garcia interrupted and cost MJF. That's how he lost. So
big move.
Yeah. So Daniel Garcia getting his revenge on MJF. and that's great. Hopefully he gets a shot at this title because Will offered him a shot at that title when Will was champion. So maybe we'll get it now. Who knows? He probably won't win, which that's one thing that I need from Daniel Garcia is to challenge for a title and actually win it. But who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. AEW's cooking. Let's keep the good times rolling. AEW, just stay the course.
Honestly, yeah, wrestling is in a good spot. AEW has a little more momentum, but that's because that's kind of part of the calendar. They're kind of off a little bit by a month or so with WWE's big shows, and this is AEW's biggest show of the year usually, as far as I understand it. This is like their WrestleMania, so
it is. Yep. They kind of start building up around Double or Nothing. They have Forbidden Door, and then they have this.
Yep. And actually, they announced Forbidden Door next year is going to be in London at Wembley. And
that was the consolation prize because they knew they pissed them off.
Yeah, because
everybody went, "What the fuck, man? Where's my All In?"
Because All In 25 is going to be in Texas, but they did say that All In 2026 will be back in London. They did say that, which I'm like, I'm cool. Wow. I like London. Let's give them love, but like, why every year?
They're trying to catch up to WWE as quickly as possible with that Wembley.
Yeah, they really are. Stadium. They really want that Wembley stat, I think.
Meanwhile, WWE doesn't want to go back.
Mm-mm.
Why?
I don't know. I think they
part of Castle shit, and we can't just go to fucking.
I think they're trying to find other spots in Europe that might not be as served in terms of wrestling and appetite wise and getting live shows. Like, I think once they hit Paris, once they did the show in Paris, they were like, fuck, we need to just try everywhere in Europe and see if we can recapture that lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
It was Lyon. I'm sorry. It was Lyon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yep, go AEW. They're doing great things.
Yeah, man. And WWE, get back on your shit, dude. Get back on your shit, Trips.
Keeping yourself so much.
I think once we get through Bash in Berlin, we're gonna be smooth sailing again. But I think it's just because
this booking is like Triple H having a stutter problem.
This feels very much like a stutter a bit, It's a little much. It's a little much. Y'all, that was a lot. We covered a lot in this hour 15. But let's see. I'm trying to think. Best in wrestling this week. You got one?
Kevin Owens is Deadpool.
Wait, Kevin Owens what?
KO is Deadpool.
KO is Deadpool. Fair. Okay.
Pool.
I like that. KO pool. Owens pool. I am going to say Uncle Howdy. Because seeing that was insane in person, and I'm not going to forget that. As someone who saw one of Bray's last WWE appearances in the last run, where they had the Forbidden Door in his entrance and everything, and seeing a Bray promo, and then seeing this, and seeing the Wyatt Six a couple of times now in person, has been absolutely insane. So I got to give it to Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, the Wyatt Six, generally all of them. But yeah, I think, Emil, you got any final thoughts?
No.
Great. In that case, I think that's going to do it for us this week. But y'all, we hope you enjoy Bash in Berlin this weekend. If you're tuning into NXT No Mercy, which you should because NXT is cooking, hope you enjoy that as well. You can follow us, Vacant Wrestling, on TikTok, on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram now at vacant.wrestling on Instagram. We've been posting Instagram Reels lately as well. Just trying to, diversify our markets a little bit. Wherever we can be posted, we'll be posted. We'll be there. But yeah, keep posted. We're gonna post this podcast a little late, but hopefully we'll be back on schedule for next Monday, following this weekend's festivities in Berlin and in Denver, Colorado, for some reason. But yeah, y'all have a great rest of the week. Follow us everywhere and take it easy. See y'all later.